Hello and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Suffolk, where I'm in the village of Felsham. This here is the gorgeous Grade 2 star listed church of St Peter that primarily dates back to the mid 14th century, and it actually went through a bit of rebuilding where they redid the roof of the nave and the chancel in the sort of late 19th century. So I'm here to do a walk of about 6.5 kilometres. That's going to take me over to the neighbouring parish of Gedding, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get a bit of a view of Gedding Hall. And I also want to have a look at the gorgeous historic church there as well, because that dates back nearly 1,000 years. So I'm just on my way up towards Farmhouse, and on the other side of this fence over here is a pond bay, and those usually terrace their way up a very small valley. So I imagine historically there would have been another pond here, another one further up, probably 4 or 5 of them, and those were actually used to breed fish for the nearby manor house, and I'm going to explain a bit more about that when I get up towards Farmhouse. So just across the way over there is Farmhouse, and previously it was a Grade 2 listed building that dates to about the sort of mid 16th century. But recently they have discovered that the crosswing is actually the earliest part of the entire complex, but the right hand side, this area that kind of projects outwards, is actually a rebuilding of an earlier medieval hall as well. So the fabric of the building is considerably older, and it is probable that it actually links to those pond bays that go down the hillside, which sits just behind these hedges here. There's actually a tiny little valley that just scoops its way down towards the river, and it's possible that that medieval hall was the one that required the fish that was being produced in those ponds. Well, I've arrived at my footpath over towards Gedding Hall, and sadly, look at it, it's completely overgrown. This is the gate that you're supposed to get through. It's completely broken. So I'm going to do my best to try and fight my way through all of the undergrowth, get across the Rattlesden River, which sits just in those trees over there, and then head along the field on the other side. So I've just joined the road near Gedding Hall, and thankfully I've got a gorgeous view up to this historic building, and just through the trees over there is Gedding Hall. Dates to the early 16th century, probably about 1541, and it's Grade 2 star listed, and it actually is just the gatehouse of a much larger medieval manor house, but the house itself doesn't exist anymore, and the gatehouse has now turned itself into Gedding Hall. It's got a few additions, contemporary range just on the right here, and there's some more modern buildings that were built about 1897. So here I am now at the gorgeous Grade 1 listed Church of St Mary in Gedding. And to start with, on the left here, this is a 15th century tower. And then at the top, the brickwork is 16th or 17th century. But we can kind of ignore that because that's the most modern part of this building. If we look at the nave, there's a lancet window here. And this dates to the 12th century and it's got some gorgeous chevron patting on, which is very much Norman work. And let's look at some other parts of this church. So this end here, this is the chancel, and this probably dates to about the 13th or 14th century, more likely the 14th. It's got an unusual square window down in this little corner here. Let's have a little walk round to the north side, where I've actually got a really nice view of Gedding Hall. So I'm round on the north side of the church now, and there is another small lancet window here which is 12th century. This one is much plainer, doesn't have the carvings like the south side. And then this here is the north door, and these two door jambs on either side are actually late 11th or early 12th century, and then this is a 13th century arch that's been plonked on the top. And if you look at the fabric of the nave, there are hints of herringbone stonework, which is a Saxo-Norman style of building. So it could be that this dates from somewhere around the Norman conquest and then has had some renovation works later on in the 11th century and early 12th century. And lastly, back round to the south side of the church, this freestone coin here, that's a telltale sign of early construction. So that's going to be late 11th or early 12th century as well. So it's time for me to head over through the village of Gedding and then back towards Felsham. So I'm just coming towards the end of the walk now. I'm just skirting the edge of Felsham, and I can even see the top of the parish church just over the houses over there, because I'm actually parked just next to that. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe and ring a bell to keep up to date with future uploads, and I'll see you next time.